Heyo! Welcome back, everybody, to the Hobbit Minecraft Survival Guide. Guys, thanks for coming back again, and hi to all the new subscribers. Guys, today, I guess this week, I have been busy. This one has been fun. I wanted to explore one of my favorite Hobbit characters, Beorn. So I decided to build his whole farm and compound. And inside of those compounds, I put a few automatic farms, so you kind of see in the background there. But hey, you guys, if you like this content, make sure to go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through detail explaining some of these redstone machines that I put together, but if you want some of that content, hey man, mention it down in the comments there, and I'll go ahead and throw together a quick video. But until then, let's just go ahead and get started. Follow me this way. We pick up with the Hobbit and the company of Thorin Oakenshield being dropped off at the Carrock, a huge rock formation above the Vale of Anduin. They had just been rescued by the eagles from the goblins and wolves of the Misty Mountains. Gandalf realizes they're in trouble. They don't have any supplies, so he's trying to get them some help. So he leads the company down the mountain towards this oak forest. Along the way, he instructs them of who and what Beorn is, a skin changer. Who has the ability to transform from a human to a great bear. We get some really cool details about the forest leading up to Beorn's house and the wildlife, and so that's one of the things I was trying to show you guys today. Here's a reading from The Hobbit. It was the middle of the afternoon before they noticed that great patches of flowers had begun to spring up, all the same kinds growing together as if they had been planted. Especially there was clover, waving patches of coxcomb clover and purple clover, and wide stretches of short, white, sweet, honey-smelling clover. There was a buzzing and a whirring and a droning in the air. Bees were busy everywhere, and such bees, Bilbo had never seen anything like them. A little bit further, Gandalf says, "We are getting near. We are on the edge of his bee pastures." After a while, they came to a belt of tall and very ancient oaks, and beyond these to a high thorn hedge through which you could neither see nor scramble. They soon came to a wooden gate, high and broad, beyond which they could see gardens and a cluster of low wooden buildings. Some were thatched and some made of unshaped logs, barns, stables, sheds, and a long, low wooden house. Inside the southward side of the great hedge were rows and rows of hives with bell-shaped tops made of straw. The noise of the giant bees flying to and fro and crawling in and out filled all the air. Soon, they reached a courtyard, 3 walls of which were formed by a wooden house and its 2 long wings. Beorn and the Beornings play a significant role in The Hobbit as allies to Bilbo and the dwarves. Beorn provides shelter and guidance to the company, helping them on their journey to the Lonely Mountain. He also aids them during the Battle of Five Armies, joining the battle in his bear form and contributing to the victory against the goblins and wargs. While Beorn himself does not appear in The Lord of the Rings, the Beornings are mentioned. They continue to inhabit their homeland and maintain the connection to nature. They provide safe passage to the dwarfs between the Lonely Mountains and the lands in the west. And Gloin actually brings them up in Rivendell. Alright, so if you take a little peek this way, you see as we approach, in the book itself, it said that he was in a deep oak forest, and outside of his perimeter was this huge hedge followed by a fence. And this was all supposed to be oak and spruce and stuff like that. So I went ahead and terraformed this whole area, and I put together this really cool path. And in the book, it also describes Bilbo saying that the bees were so large that they were the size of like footballs, which just reminded me of Minecraft so much. So I went ahead and bred 1,000,000 bees, made a ton of beehives to fill this place up. I traversed the world, made some goat friends, filled up this whole area just kind of inside of this hedge. It's kind of like his compound. It said he was friends with cattle and horses, so I filled up the whole place with those things. Let's get back to the path. I'm getting distracted. So you follow along this way. And to the right here, we've got a cool well with an axolotl down there. Oh my. Oh, buddy. So obviously, on our farm, we need a place for water, so that makes sense. So let's be practical. We've got tons of bees all around here. Now, describe Beorn's main house in kind of a U shape, and as they were walking into the between, there was a corridor made by the walls of Beorn's house, and he met them in the front here. But inside of here, what I decided to do was not finish interior designing, but we built the... Oh, do you see that? That is not supposed to happen. We're supposed to have a foolproof bee farm going on in here through hoppers and moss and stuff like that, and it's just supplying us with tons of honeycomb, which we're going to use to make some candles later in the video. But for now, let's keep going. I used this building originally as kind of like my starting point. I've been using this little sectioned off here area just to breed bees. Once I get a full hive, I case it up, I take it out, place it, that kind of stuff. If we go, I think next thing I worked on was, I had to put in a few little farms here. Obviously, decorations, some log bricks, and just pieces like that, just accent pieces. I'm never actually going to use those because I have a full farm somewhere else. But excuse the stuff laying around. But we went ahead and put together a sheep wool farm. So just because Beorn was a bear didn't mean that he was into eating meat. Actually, it's said in the book that he survived on honey and cream. So he had tons of friends, and he never killed any animals if he didn't have to. So I tried to make all of these farms based around the ideas of not having to sacrifice any of our friends' lives. For example, this wolf farm is set up to where they just automatically get sheared every time they eat the grass. So it's just a sustainable farm here. Let's go take a look. You go through, I color-coded everything. Alright guys, so how it's set up is as long as there's the block they're standing on and the grass block here, as long as they're connected there, that's going to turn to grass. He's going to eat that grass block, it's going to automatically shear him, and then through a hopper system, it's going to come out down here. So we've got tons already. I mean, these are the last ones we did, and we already have almost 3 stacks. But I like this. Clean up the edges, add some cool textures to it. I'm proud of this one. Then we came around this way. I need to put a path through here, actually. I just noticed. That's embarrassing. But we made some more farms, you know, potatoes and wheat. Planted some cool... Oh, looks like there's another trader stuck back there. But we went ahead and... I didn't really have a plan for this sugarcane farm here. So I just figured out some dimensions, and then I just started playing with some designs, and I ended up coming up with kind of like this one-sided staircase kind of feel. Lots of textures on the outside, cool blocks, lots of greenery. I ended up putting a balcony around the backside there, and like I said, I put a sugarcane farm in here. So let's go take a look at that. Hello, sir. Good morning. So I have to do a bit of interior designing, but the functional part of it is done. So obviously, once this sugarcane reaches the 3rd height here, these observers, these guys with these grumpy looking faces, will recognize that. And this middle row here are called pistons. They will punch out, and they will punch the sugarcane down, which will be absorbed through a hopper minecart system. Down there, you can't really see it. I guess I could uncover it, but it works. I get sugarcane now. I don't have to harvest it. It just automatically does it for me as long as we're in the area. And I had a little bit of extra space up here, so I made a balcony. I'll put something cool up here and a little back balcony here. Just a view, survey our kingdom here. I left that backside open and flat because I was going to put a few more farms in it eventually, but I just haven't decided what yet. So there you have it, everyone. I'm really proud of this build. It was fun. I got to do a little bit of research about Beorn, learn about his history and how the Beornings ended up forging safe passages during the Lord of the Rings books and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this build. If you like this build, let me know down in the comments, or hey, hit that subscribe button, because that means I'm doing something right. Thank you guys so much for watching this video again. But until next time, bye.